Good afternoon, everyone. So today is the day for second session of unit number 4, performance of contract. And the same way we will allow for chat box at the in mid of the class. And till that time, please note your queries on your notebooks and ask at the time when in the chat box it will be able to all of you, right? And unmute option will be at the last. So please note your queries, okay, and come to the slides what we are discussing with you. So topic is impossibility of performance, section 56. In this impossibility of performance, two types of impossibility known at the time of contract or after the contract, arise after the contract. Means impossibility existed at the time of contract, parties are unaware, and impossibility arise after the contract is entered but before the performance. In both cases, contract is void because impossibility cannot be converted into possibility, right? And one more thing, in this case, impossibility existed at the time of contract known by one party. If one party known, in that case, that party who knows the impossibility liable for compensation. In short, what I have discussed, I am going for deliberation. Impossibility existing at the time of contract. When the parties agree upon doing of something which is obviously impossible, in itself, the agreement would be void. The fact of impossibility may be known and may not be known to the parties. Whether known or whether not known, the contract is void. But something to be noted. If known to the parties, it would be observed that an agreement constituted or entered quite known to the parties may be impossible of being performed and hence void. So if parties known that performance of contract is impossible, even that they are entering into the contract, the contract is void. See the example 29. B promises to pay a sum of rupees 5,000 if he is able to swim across the Indian Ocean from Bombay to Aden within a week. Bombay to Aden, the large distance. B promises to pay a sum of rupees 5,000 if he is able to swim across the Indian Ocean from Bombay to Aden within a week. This is impossible act. In this case, there is no real agreement since both the parties are quite certain in their mind that the act is impossible of achievement. Therefore, the agreement being impossible in itself is, please note down, if there is impossibility of the performance at the time of contract, the contract is void. If known to the parties, even that contract is void. When the parties agree upon doing of something which is obviously impossible in itself, the agreement would be void. The fact of impossibility may be or may not be known to the parties. If known to the parties, it would be observed that an agreement constituted quite known to the parties may be impossible of being performed and hence void. See the example 29. Read once again. Read the example once again. If unknown to the parties have no idea they are entering the contract of which performance is impossible. Where both the promiser and promisee are ignorant of the impossibility of performance, the contract is void in itself. Contract is void in itself. See example, a contracted B to sell his brown horse for 50,000. Both the unaware that the horse was dead add a day before the agreement, the contract is void. So one thing you should clear in your mind, that if there is impossibility of performance at the time of contract, whether known to the parties or not, the contract is void. Parties means both parties. Parties means both parties. Sir, what about if one party has idea about the impossibility? Let's check. If known to the promiser only, one party has idea that the performance of this contract is impossible, where at the time of entering into a contract, the promiser alone knows about the impossibility of performance, alone knows. Promisee has no idea. Or even if he does not know, though he should have known it with the reasonable diligence, the promisee is entitled to claim the compensation. The promisee is entitled to claim the compensation for any loss suffered on account of non-performance. Means a promiser has idea that the performance of this contract is impossible. If the promiser has idea that performance of this contract is impossible, in that case, promisee can claim the compensation from the promiser for non-performance. Promiser has idea, or he could ever know about the impossibility by using his ordinary diligence, normal buddhi. Then in that case, the promisee can claim the compensation. Right? Please read. So one thing, if impossibility existed at the time of contract, the contract is void whether known to parties or not known to parties. But if only one party has idea about the impossibility, contract, even that is void, but other party can claim the compensation for non-performance. Please note down, possibility existed at the time of contract. Contract is void whether known to parties or not known to parties. But only one party has idea about the impossibility, the other party can claim the compensation for non-performance. Supervening impossibility means subsequent impossibility. Subsequent impossibility means impossibility arise after the contract was entered. Impossibility arise after the contract was entered. When performance of promise become impossible or illegal by occurrence of an unexpected event. When the performance of promise become impossible or illegal by occurrence of an unexpected event or change of the circumstances beyond the contemplation of parties, beyond the control of the parties, the contract become void. When performance of the promise become impossible or illegal by occurrence of an unexpected event or change of circumstances beyond the contemplation of parties, the contract become void. That is, for example, change in law. See example number 31, A and B contracted to marry each other before the time fixed for the marriage. A became mad. In this case, the contract become void due to subsequent impossibility and thus discharge. A and B contracted for marrying each other, but before time fixed for marriage, A became mad. Normally, people become mad after the marriage, but in this case, he became mad before the marriage. The contract is void because of subsequent impossibility. So one thing you should note, impossibility. At contract, subsequent to contract. Both cases void. Contract is void. At contract, known or unknown. If one party has idea, if known to one party, compensation to other party. So what we have discussed, if performance of contract is void due to performance of contract is impossibility, contract is void. Whether impossibility existed at the time of contract or subsequent to the contract. Impossibility existed at the time of contract known to parties or unknown to parties. Unknown to parties, contract is void. Known to parties, contract is void, but known to one party. The other party can claim the compensation from the party who has idea about the impossibility of performance. But in this situation, even the contract will be clear. Now the topic is contracts which needs not to be performed. This may be the question of direct question of 5 to 6 marks, but we can discuss this topic only after the discussion of discharge of contract. So let's first we discuss discharge of contract, then we will come on the contract which need not to be performed. Discharge of contract means end of the liability, end of the contractual relationship. End of the contractual relationship. End of the contractual relationship. Discharge of contract means termination of the contractual relationship between the parties. In other words, a contract is said to be discharged when either of the parties is no more liable to the contract. The parties are no more liable, whether by performance or by cancellation. If suppose A and B enters into a contract, A and B enters into a contract for sale of car, by which A will sell the car to B for 2 lakh rupees. Suppose in this case, A delivered the car and B makes the payment. Both parties has performed the contract. It means contract is discharged. End of the relationship. I have given the car, you have given the payment. The contract is discharged. Suppose in this case, the contract was entered between A and B for sale of car for rupees 2 lakh. For rupees 2 lakh, and after some time, B says, "Sir, I don't have need this car. I want to cancel the contract." A says, "Okay, I'm canceling the contract." It means even in that case, parties are not liable. Parties are not liable to make the not liable to make that performance, because the relationship of the contractual relationship is ended between the parties, right? So discharge means end of the liabilities to the contract. Discharge of contract means termination of contractual relationship between the parties. In other words, a contract is said to be discharged when either of the parties is no more liable to contract. In no more liable to contract. What are the modes of discharge of contract? In normal case, I don't think, but I'm not sure. I don't think a question may be asked or write down the modes of discharge of contract, because it will be a very long question. But even this question is asked, please go for this chart. This will be helpful. If the question will be asked for 6 marks, this will be helpful for making the answer. By performance, actual, tender, by mutual consent or agreement, deciding mutually. Note down the meaning. Novation means new contract. recession, cancellation, alteration, change of terms, remission, discount in performance, waiver, 100% discount, totally discount, merger, merging inferior liability with inferior contract with superior contract. By impossibility of performance, becomes impossible. Destruction of subject matter, death or disablement for personal services, subsequent illegality, declaration of war, non-existence of state of things, by operation of law, compulsory, by death, insolvency, merger, unauthorized alteration of the terms of a written document, breach of contract, anticipatory breach means कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को तोड़ना, परफॉर्म करने से मना करना, डिनाइल फॉर मेकिंग परफॉर्मेंस, एंटिसिपेटरी ब्रीच, actual breach. By lapse of time, contract become time barred. Contract becomes time barred. So please note these things. After this slide, we will discuss in detail one by one. Please note by performance, by mutual consent, by impossibility, by operation of law that is compulsory, by breach of contract, by lapse of time. Let's move one by one. By performance, if contract is performed according to the terms decided in the contract, means contract is discharged. The parties are no more liable for the contract. What is decided in the contract by the parties as duties to perform and they performed accordingly means contract is discharged. Where the parties have done whatever was contemplated, whatever was decided under the contract, it is called performance by performance. And performance may be actual performance and the tender performance. Tender performance we have discussed, attempted performance or offer to perform. Attempted performance or offer to perform. Next point, by mutual consent or agreement or mutually decided. First is novation. Suppose a contract was entered between A and B. Between A and B, by which A will transfer the car to B for rupees 2 lakhs. On a certain date, after the contract is entered, B says, sir, I am not agree to purchase this car. I am ready to purchase another car. Suppose A has two cars, one red and one black. Red and black. So B says, sir, I am not ready to purchase red car for 2 lakhs. I can purchase your black car. A says, okay. So there is a new contract between A and B for sale of black car. The original contract was for sale of red car. Now in place of original contract, a new contract was entered for sale of black car. This is called novation. And because the new contract has been entered, no need to perform the old contract. So the old contract is discharged by novation. The old contract was discharged because the new contract was entered. So this contract is called novation, and the original contract is discharged by novation. One thing you should note: the novation can be between the same parties or maybe between the different parties. For example, in the contract between A and B to sale of red car by A to B, we can say, sir, I don't have need to purchase this car, but my friend C is ready to purchase that car. So A says, okay, I have to sell on the car, whether you will purchase or whether C will purchase. So the new contract was entered between A and C. Because the new contract was entered between A and C, the old contract, the original contract between A and B is need not to be performed. It is discharged by novation. So novation means substitution of a new contract for the original one. Substitution of a new contract for the original one. And the new contract may be substituted either between the same parties or between the different parties, but novation should take place before the due date, before the expiry of the time of performance of the original contract. But the novation should take place before the expiry of the time of performance of the original contract. See the example number 32. X borrowed rupees 1000 from Y. XYZ agreed that debt will be discharged by Z. X has borrowed the amount of 1000 from Y. X has to make the repayment, but XYZ, all the three have decided in place of X, Z will make the repayment of the loan. Y is ready, okay, I have to take the repayment of the loan, whether you will pay or whether Z will pay. So the new contract between Y and Z is formed, and the old contract between X and Y is comes to end. It means if the new contract is entered between X and Z, no performance is required. Y and Z, no performance is required by X for repayment of loan. Please read this example. Please read this example. Please keep in the mind this example because I will discuss all the points of discharge of contract by mutual consent on this example basis. Okay. Second point, the example was A, B, car, 2 lakhs. Rescission, cancellation of all or some of the terms of contract by mutual understanding of parties. Cancellation. Suppose the example what I have discussed with you in the previous slide, A and B entered into a contract for sale of car for rupees 2 lakh. After some time, before the date of delivery, B says, sir, I don't need the car. I want to cancel the contract. A said, okay, cancel the contract. If the contract is cancelled, no party has to perform according to the contract because now the contract is discharged by rescission. If contract is cancelled, it is called cancellation, discharge of contract by rescission. Example 33, A contracted with B for supply of 1000 kg of rice. Later on, they agreed that no rice will be supplied. They agreed, both the parties agreed. The contract is resigned by the mutual end. Alteration, change of some terms, change of some terms. For example, in this previous example, A and B, A says a contract was entered between A and B by which A will sell the car to B for rupees 2 lakh. B says, sir, I could not payment on the date which we have decided between us. I can pay after 15 days. Sir, I can't pay the payment on the date which we have decided. I can pay after 15 days from the due date. A says, okay. So this is the change of terms. This is the change of terms. This is called alteration. But one thing you should note in this point, that novation can be done between different parties, but alteration will be in the same parties. No, in case of alteration, parties should not be changed. If the parties mutually agree to change certain terms of the contract, it has the effect of terminating the original contract. There is, however, no change in the party. No change in the party. A agrees to supply cotton of grade 1 to B. Before delivery, A and B agree that in place of grade 1, the cotton of grade 2 will be supplied. Change of the terms. There is alteration of contract. Please read. I'm giving you 10 seconds for reading this example. Next point, remission. Remission, I've told you, discount. Let's same example, A and B, car, 2 lakh rupees. A contract was entered between A and B for selling of the car for 2 lakh rupees. On due date, B says, sir, I can pay only 80,000 in place of 1 lakh. I can pay only 1,50,000 in place of 2 lakhs. A says, okay, I'm ready. It is called remission. Discount on the due amount. Discount on the due amount. Remission, acceptance of a lesser amount than what was contracted for a lesser fulfillment of the promise made. A has borrowed 1,000 from B at the interest of 100. B agrees not to demand the amount of interest from A. This is remission. A has borrowed 1,000 from B and which will be repaid with the interest of 100 rupees. It means the total payment to be repaid is 1,100. On due date, A says, sir, I could not pay the interest. B says, okay, please pay the principal amount. It is the remission. Waiver, 100% discount. Suppose in this example number 35, A says, sir, I could not pay any rupee, any single penny. B says, okay, don't make the payment. जी लो अपनी जिंदगी. This is called waiver. Relinquishment or abandonment of a right. अपने right को खत्म करना. Relinquishment or abandonment of a right, where the party waives his right under the contract, the other party it release of his obligation. So, example 36, if in the above example, if B agrees not to demand the whole amount of loan, this is waiver. Please read example 35 and 36 fast. Merger, merging of inferior right, merging of inferior right with superior right. Merging of inferior right with superior right. See, if Mr. A, let's see example, A has given B his flat on rent. A has given his flat on rent to Mr. B. A has given a flat on rent to Mr. B for 10,000 per month rent for 1 year. Suppose A has given his flat to B on rent for 10,000 per month as a rent for 1 year. But after 3 months, B has purchased that house from A. But after 3 months, B has purchased that house from A and now B becomes the owner. So whether it is the original contract of giving the rent is possible? No. Because as the B becomes the owner, he need not to pay the rent to Mr. A. So this contract is discharged. This contract is discharged by merging of inferior right into the superior right. B is holding the house as a tenant. Now he becomes the owner. The original contract is discharged. So in that case, we need not to pay the rent. Merger means a contract is said to have been discharged by way of merger where the inferior right possessed by person merges with superior right of the same person. A holds a property under a lease. He later buys the property. His right as a lessee merges into his right as an owner. As an owner. Please read this example. Now, discharge of contract by impossibility. We have already discussed the concept of impossibility. Impossibility of a contract may either be inherent in the transaction or it may be introduced later by change of the certain circumstances material to the contract. Inherent impossibility means known to the and inherent means impossibility existed at the time of contract. Known to both the parties, contract is void, discharge. Suppose A agrees with B to discover the treasure by magic. मैं जादू से खजाना ढूंढ लूंगा. Subsequent impossibility, a contract is deemed to have become impossible of performance and thus void under the following circumstance. Subsequent impossibility. Impossibility arises after the contract. See, the destruction of subject matter of the contract. Destruction. And see example 39, a music hall was agreed to be let out on certain date, but before the dates, it was destroyed by fire. Held the owner was absolved from liability to let the building as promised. Because if hall is not in working condition due to fire, how it could be possible to perform accordingly? By death or disablement of the parties, where the performance must be executed personally. Means if the contract was entered for any personal services and the person who has to provide the personal services according to contract, so on the death or disablement of that party, the contract becomes discharged. Subsequent illegality means the contract was perfectly under the law. But after the contract was entered, the law is changed and the performance becomes illegal or against the law. The contract will be discharged. No party need to perform. Declaration of war subsequent to making the contract. If the contract was entered between the citizens of two countries, and after the entering the contract, war was declared between the countries of those persons, the contract become discharged due to it. Means if the things are necessary for the contract for of performance and something arises due to the existence become impossible, the contract will be void. See example number 40, X and Y contract to marry each other. Before the time fixed for marriage, X goes mad. The contract becomes, when the certain thing necessary for the performance ceases to exist, the contract becomes void on the ground of impossible. I am reading the example once again. Example 40, X and Y contract to marry each other. Before the time fixed for marriage, X goes mad. The contract becomes. Exception to impossibility means in the following cases, in the following conditions, it seems to be impossible, but it is not impossible. Contract cannot be avoided. Contract is not discharged. Difficulty of possibility does not amount to impossibility. Difficulty of possibility does not amount to impossibility. Means, sir, it is very raining today. I could not deliver the goods. This is difficulty, not the, then the penalty compensation provision will be there. Commercial impossibility does not render a contract void. Commercial impossibility, you can say like sailing on the loss. Sailing on the loss, sail at loss. Suppose the contract between A and B entered for sale of 100 kg of rice at the rate 100 per kg. But on the date of delivery, the price becomes 150 of the same quality of rice. So it would be the harmful, it would be the impossible for seller to sell at the loss. But it is the commercial impossibility, not the impossibility. Because you have already entered the contract, you have to perform even in the loss. एक बार जो आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया तो फिर आप पीछे नहीं हट सकते. एक बार जो कमिटमेंट कर ली तो फिर कोई आप पीछे नहीं हट सकते. Strike, lockouts and civil disturbance, these are maybe the difficulties, not the impact. Non-performance by third party does not absolve the promiser from his liability. Means, suppose in this example, A and B, A entered contract to deliver the 100 kg of rice to B at rupees 100 per kg. But the supplier of A has not supplied the rice on due date, so that A could not deliver to B. In that case, even the problem with A not to supply on due date, he will be liable to compensate B for any loss incurred by B due to non-supply by A to B. Next point, by operation of law, compulsorily, in case of death, we have discussed. In case of insolvency, if the party become insolvent, then all the insolvent extend discharge of all the liabilities of debts incurred prior to the adjudication. If the person is declared insolvent, then he will be discharged from all the liabilities which was incurred by him at the time of before the order of insolvency. By merger, we have already discussed. By unauthorized alteration of the terms of a written document. If a document is written regarding the contract and you have changed any unauthorized alteration, like the contract was 1 lakh, you have add 10, unauthorized alteration, the contract will be discharged. The contract will be discharged. By breach of contract. Breach of contract. Breach means contract को तोड़ना. Breach of contract is of two types. First, breach of contract, deny for performance. Breach of contract means deny of performance. On due date, it is actual breach. Before the due date, it is anticipatory breach. Anticipatory breach means breach of contract before due date, anticipatory, in advance. Where a party repudiates, cancel, or denies it before the time fixed for the performance. If suppose delivery of the goods to be done on 15th June, and he informed the party on 11th that he will not going to deliver, means before the due date. Before the due date, it is called anticipatory breach. Anticipatory breach. C. A contract to marry B before the agreed date of marriage, he marries C. B is entitled to sue A for breach of promise. What are the consequences of breach of promise? This is important. This is also important for next class. Suppose, come to the example. I'm taking to you an example. This example will clear the concept of the consequences of anticipatory breach. Let's take an example. X agrees to sell to Y a certain quantity of wheat at rupees 100 per quintal to be delivered on 3rd March. On 2nd February, X gives notice expressing his unwillingness to sell wheat, and the price on wheat on that date is rupees 110 per quintal. If Y the forthwith, taking the action put alive till 3rd March. In the meantime, the price increases to 125 per quintal of the day. On the date, Y would be able to recover damages at rupees 25. What is the example? X will deliver Y wheat at rupees 100 per quintal. On which date? 3rd March. Before the date, that is on 2nd February, he informed that he will not deliver the wheat. He informed the party that he will not deliver the wheat. It means he has repudiated the contract. Now Y has two options. One option, first option, he should file the case on 2nd February. He should file the case on 2nd February, or he should wait for the due date, that is 3rd March. Or he should wait up to the due date, that is 3rd March, and file the case on that date. Means the due date of the performance of contract was 3rd March as per the contract, but before the due date, that is 1 month before, like 2nd February, the party, that is X, denied to deliver the goods on the due date. Now Y has two options. First, he should file the case on 2nd February, or he should wait up to 3rd March. He should wait up to 3rd March for filing the case. If he decides to file the case on 2nd February, what is the actual loss on 2nd February he can claim? If we decide to file the case on 2nd February, what is the loss actual to be incurred he can claim from the other party? On 2nd February, the price was 110 per quintal. Price has increased by rupees 10. So if he decides to file the case on 2nd February, he can claim the difference of rupees 10. Because the contract was entered for 100 rupees, now he has to purchase for 110. So he has to bear the loss of 10 rupees. He can claim from X. But if he decides to file the case on 3rd March, that is the due date, and at that time the price was 125 of the wheat, he can claim the difference, that is 25, because the contract was originally entered for 100 rupees per quintal. Now he has to purchase at rupees 125. So he has to make the additional payment of 25. That because of the fault by X. So Y can claim from the X at the rate of 25 per quintal. But suppose, definitely it is coming in your mind that, sir, what about the price comes to 105 on 3rd March? Sir, what about if the price comes to 105 on 3rd March in place of 125? The price comes to 105 on that date, so that he can claim only rupees 5. अब वो पछताए या कुछ हो, other matter. Sir, what if the price becomes rupees 90? Then why he will deny for the delivery? He's the getting the benefit, na? The market price is rupees 90. He will receive 100 rupees. So there would be no case for breach of contract. So if in the case he decided to wait for 3rd March, and after the 2nd February and before the 3rd March, the government made the restriction on the private sale of wheat. If suppose he has not filed the case on 2nd February and decided to wait for up to 3rd March, and during this period the government made the restriction on the sale of goods, on the sale of wheat privately, so the contract become impossible, and because of impossibility it becomes void, and in that case Y cannot recover anything from X. See what is written in blue ink. If on the other hand, during the intervening period between 2nd February and 3rd March, private sale of wheat is prohibited by the government would become, the contract would become void, and Y could not be able to recover any damages whatever. I'm giving you 30 seconds to please read this example once again. पढ़िए ध्यान से दोबारा बच्चों. Now come to the previous slide. Consequences of anticipatory breach: the promisee may either resign, cancel the contract and treat the contract as at end and once sue for damages. It means he is talking about 2nd February. Or he may elect not to resign but to treat the contract operative and wait for the time of performance, and then hold the party liable for consequences of non-performance. It means he is talking about 3rd March. Actual breach: it may take place at the time when the performance is due or during the performance. A agrees to deliver 100 bags of sugar to B on 1st February 2012. On the said day, that is 1st February 2012, he failed to supply 100 bags of sugar to B. This is actual breach of contract. The breach has been committed by A at the time when the performance become due. During the performance or due date, it is called actual breach. By lapse of time, if the contract become time barred, a contract should be performed within the specified period as prescribed by the Limitation Act 1963. If it is not performed and if no action is taken by the promisee within specified period of limitation, he is deprived of remedy of law. The contract becomes time barred as per the Limitation Act. If the creditor does not file a suit against the buyer for recovery of price within 3 years, the debt becomes time barred and hence irrecoverable. I have already discussed with you this topic. Now the important question or direct question may be asked, contract which need not to be performed. First is, if the party mutually agree to substitute the original contract by new one, that is novation, or resigned, cancellation, or alteration. If the promisee dispense other options with or remits wholly or in part the performance of the promise made to or extend the time for such performance or accept any satisfaction for it. डिस्पेंस का मतलब होता है डिस्पेंसरी, औषधि देना, उपचार करना. It means if the promise satisfied with any other option, then original contract need to not to be performed. If person at whose option the contract is voidable, we have discussed the voidable contract. If the party at whose option the contract is voidable made the contract cancelled, the contract need not to be performed. If the promisee neglects or refuses to afford the promisor reasonable facilities for the performance of his promise, suppose A wants to deliver the required material decided in the contract to B, but B is not allowing. For example, it should be the godown should be opened. B is saying that my godown cannot be opened. So in that case, one party wants to perform, the other party is preventing him to perform. Then the main first party need not to perform. And last one, if it is illegal, if the contract becomes illegal. So law is changed the contract. If it is legal, contract is illegal, they need not to be performed. So this was the unit number 4. I am requesting, sir, please able the chat. सर चैट बॉक्स एबल कर दीजिए. सुन पा रहे हैं सर मुझे आप टेक्निकल में? अजीत सर, आर यू देयर? टेक्निकल सपोर्ट. चलिए मैंने कर दिया है. प्लीज शेयर योर क्वेरीज. Please request to share the only relevant queries for regarding the topic. Example 41 and 42. Just a moment. एग्जाम्पल 41 42 हिंदी में बताइए सर. सुन लो भैया. 41 तो बहुत सिंपल एग्जाम्पल था. क्या था 41 में? ए ने बी से शादी करने के लिए कहा, लेकिन बिफोर डेट मैरिज की शादी से पहले वो क्या हुआ, उसने मना कर दी कि शादी नहीं करेगा. तो उसने ड्यू डेट से पहले ही मना कर दी. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्या हो गया? डिस्चार्ज बाय एंटीसिपेटरी ब्रीच. दूसरा पॉइंट 42 एग्जाम्पल. क्या एग्जाम्पल था? एक्स और वाई के बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ कि वो 3 मार्च को वीट सप्लाई करेगा 100 रुपए कुंटल के हिसाब से, लेकिन ड्यू डेट से पहले 1 महीना पहले 2 फरवरी को उसने मना कर दिया मैं सप्लाई नहीं करूं. अब वाई के पास 2 ऑप्शन है, या तो वो 2 फरवरी को ही सूट फाइल कर दे, तो उस दिन जो प्राइस होगा 110 रुपए प्राइस था, जो डिफरेंस हुआ एक्स्ट्रा पे करने के लिए 10 रुपए का, वो उससे क्लेम ले सकता है. या फिर दूसरा ऑप्शन उसके पास क्या है, वो 3 मार्च तक वेट करे, 3 मार्च तक वेट करे और 3 मार्च को, एक सेकेंड, 3 मार्च को जो प्राइस हो, जो लॉस हो, वो क्लेम कर सकता हो। ठीक है, एक तो ये प्रॉब्लम हो गई सॉल्व। एग्जाम्पल 32 एंड 42, 42 आई हैव डिस्कस, एंड व्हाट अबाउट 32? वेट, 32 was the see the example number 32. X borrowed rupees 1000 from Y, and X, Y, Z agreed that the debt will be discharged by Z. Means X has borrowed rupees 1000 from Y, and he has to make the repayment to Y. But Z agreed with X and Y that he will make the repayment in place of X. So the original liability of X to repay the Y will be discharged. Now in place of X, Z will discharge. Right? And second point of contract need not to be performed. If promise is dispensed with or remits wholly or in part, the performance of the promise made to or extend the time for such performance to accept something else. For example, the contract was entered between A and B for supply of wheat of grade 1, but at the due date, he said, sir, in place of grade 1, please supply grade 2. So change of terms. The second point connected with the alteration, right? Sir, what is the difference between novation and alteration? Novation and alteration, first difference, novation can be the same parties or different parties, but alteration between the same parties. In alteration, only the some terms is changed, but in novation, major part can be changed. Impossibility of performance of first and third point. Destruction of subject matter of the contract. भैया आपने घर किराए पे लिया, घर ही गिर गया, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट परफॉर्म नहीं करना इम्पॉसिबल हो गया। थर्ड पॉइंट, सबसिक्वेंट इलीगलिटी। एट द टाइम ऑफ मेकिंग द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वाज लॉफुल, लॉफुल था, बाद में लॉ चेंज हुआ और उसको परफॉर्म करना अनलॉफुल हो गया, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्या हो जाएगा, डिस्चार्ज हो जाएगा। एग्जाम्पल 29, बी ने प्रॉमिस किया कि वो 5000 रुपए देगा अगर वो एक हफ्ते में स्विम कर ले, कहां से, इंडियन ओशन फ्रॉम बॉम्बे टू एडन, लंदन, यूके। नॉट पॉसिबल ना, इसलिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड है। सर, कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ एंटीसिपेटरी ब्रीच एंड एक्चुअल ब्रीच, सर कैन यू एक्सप्लेन एग्जाम्पल 42 वंस अगेन इन हिंदी? ओके, 42 में क्या कह रहा था एग्जाम्पल में कि साहब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ एक्स और वाई के बीच में, जिसके द्वारा एक्स वाई को क्या करेगा, सेल करेगा वीट 100 रुपीज पर क्विंटल पर। लेकिन लेकिन ऑन सेकेंड थर्ड मार्च को, बट 2 फरवरी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तोड़ दिया बिफोर ड्यू डेट, इट इज द एंटीसिपेटरी ब्रीच। सो इन दैट केस वाई has two options, either to file the case on 2nd February or to file the case on 3rd March. If we decide to file the case on 2nd February, तो जो भी लॉस बनता है, रेट क्या हो गया, 110 रुपए। Now Y has to purchase the wheat at rupees 110. Y has to purchase the wheat at 110. So it means he has to make the extra payment of rupees 10. He can claim as a compensation of the X. If we decide to file the case on 3rd March, so what is the actual loss on that date he can claim from the X, right? One more thing, अमीशा क्लियर हुआ बेटा ये वाला पॉइंट? सुपरवेनिंग इम्पॉसिबिलिटी में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड होता है क्या सर? डेफिनेटली। अरे भाई, इम्पॉसिबिलिटी चाहे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के टाइम पर हो या बाद में हो, इम्पॉसिबल तो होगा ही ना। जब इम्पॉसिबल है तो परफॉर्म कैसे होगा? वॉइड हो जाएगा। सेकंड पॉइंट, ही में इलेक्ट नॉट टू रिजाइन। क्या कह रहा है कि उस समय रिजाइन ना करे जिस समय उसने मना किया था, वेट करे। 2 फरवरी को रिजाइन ना करे, 3 फरवरी तक वेट करे, तब रिजाइन करे। ओके सर, लैप्स ऑफ टाइम में प्रेस्क्राइब बाय लिमिटेशन एक्ट है सर? यस सर, बिल्कुल। अक्षित क्लियर हो गया यहां तक बेटा? अक्षित क्लियर हुआ बेटा यहां तक? इन दिस स्लाइड सेकंड और फोर्थ, ओके, second you can write the alteration in case of alteration of terms, and fourth, suppose A has to deliver B 100 kg of rice, but B not opening the place where the goods to be delivered. A ने B को गुड्स सप्लाई करना है, चावल सप्लाई करना है 100 किलो। जब ए लेके पहुंचा, बी ताला ही नहीं खोल रहा है, तो वैसे मैं नहीं खोल रहा। इस केस में क्या है, ए की कोई लाइबिलिटी नहीं है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट परफॉर्म करने की। ठीक है अक्षित, क्लियर पॉइंट नंबर 2 और 4? ओके, वेरी गुड। नाउ शुड वी स्टार्ट एलपीएल मैच नंबर 3rd? सब्स्टिट्यूट मतलब चेंज करना, बदलना, रिप्लेस करना। सो स्टूडेंट, शुड वी स्टार्ट और यू हैव एनी अदर क्वेरी? ओके, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, a contract containing an undertaking to do an impossible act is void, voidable, valid, illegal? A holds a house on lease. After he buys the house, buys the house and became owner. The contract is discharged by rescission, merger, waiver, remission. The original contract need not to be performed if there is rescission, novation, alteration, all of the above. A voidable contract become void in case of rescission, novation, alteration, merger. Change in some of the terms of the contract, rescission, novation, alteration, merger. Ram owes Sham rupees 10,000. Sham says that he will accept 8,000 towards final settlement. This is a voidable contract, valid contract, illegal contract, unenforceable. So let's start the answers. A contract containing an undertaking to do an impossible act is void. Ace holds a house on lease. After that, he buys the house and became owner. The contract discharged by merger because inferior right merged with the superior right. The original contract need not to be performed if there is all of the above. A voidable contract becomes void in case of recession, cancellation. Voidable contract arise only in case of recession. Change in some terms of the contract is alteration. Ram owes 10,000. Sham says that he will accept rupees 8,000 towards final settlement. This is a valid contract waiver, a remission. So let's see. First person given all correct answers is Akshit. Mukesh, Ushri, Deepak. So this was the unit number 4. Let's let's practice for 2 or 3 questions. Then after that we will have the break, and after the break we will discuss some important examples and points for examination point of view. So first question, Ramaswamy is a trader of food grains. He entered into a contract with Krishna for supply of 500 tons MP wheat at a price of ton to be supplied after 6 months. On the date of performance, there become an unexpected rise in the price of MP wheat, and price went to rupees 55,000 per ton. Ramaswamy repudiated the contract by saying that it is impossible for him to supply the goods at agreed price as it would be result a heavy loss to his firm. Perhaps he has to close his business due to such great loss. State with reason, can Ramaswamy repudiate the contract? Can Ramaswamy repudiate the contract under the provisions? Reply everyone. Ikra saying no. Reason. With reason in small. In few words. Give the reason in few words. I think that reason can be in 2 words only. I'm waiting for a reply. Everyone saying no. Good. Very good, Ikra. Anyone else? No, no. Akshit, you have not given the right answer. Your answer is no, is right, but reason is not correct. Deepak, your reason is incorrect. Anyone else? No, Akshay. Commercial impossibility, and commercial impossibility is not considered as impossibility. Commercial impossibility. On the basis of the facts of the problem, sale on heavy loss is commercial impossibility and cannot be said impossibility to perform the contract. Hence, Ramaswamy has to supply the MP wheat, otherwise Krishna can claim the damages from Ramaswamy at rupees 25,000 per ton. Right? Second question, 4 marks question, asked in June 2024. Mr. S to purchase his house for rupees for 50,000 token money. In meanwhile, in anti and what he has given as advance, referring to the relevant provisions of Indian Contract Act, state whether Mr. J is saying yes. Dakshta, yes. Very good, yes. Ushri, Vishnu, but tell me the reason also, na? Why? He can claim, I'm agree with you, but why? Amisha saying no. Operation of law, not. Impossibility of performance, good Ushri. Because law is changed, law is changed, and contract becomes void, impossible to perform. Hence, they can recover the money 50,000 where. Okay, good Akshit. In this situation, Mr. J is required to refund 50,000 token money paid to Mr. S as the contract to sell the house become void due to demolition of the house by local administration, as a result of which it become impossible to sell the house on the part of. Right? Direct question, I think that can be done by yourself. So at this place, we are having a break of 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will start some important points regarding examination preparation and some examples. Okay. So, sir, please give the break of 5 minutes to students. Okay, sir. Thank you. the break. One query from Akshit. Akshit, in case of example of Amol, the promise for gift can be claimed only if can be claimed only if it is written and registered, because it is the nature of gift. And again, in case of Chaya B, the contract is valid. Gift is completed gift. Promise to gift is can be claimed only if it is written and registered. Okay. Recession means cancellation. So this time we are discussing the target, how to secure 80 plus marks in business law out of 100 marks. The story, I am not repeating this story, the Arjun and the bird eye. Target should focus on the target. Come to the pattern of exam. I'm taking the pattern of May 2026, the recent attempt. The question 1 was compulsory, and any 4 out of the remaining 5 questions means you have the choice of 1 question. In question number 1, there are 3 parts. In each question, there are 3 parts. 2 parts of 7 marks each, and 1 part is 6 marks. Other we could when we should go for chapter wise, so you will find that in case of Indian regulatory work, regulatory framework, the question was 6 mark direct question. Indian Contract Act 18 marks question, question for 18 marks is a direct question, and the descriptive question for 14 marks. Sale of Good Acts 7 marks and 21 marks. Partnership Act, only descriptive questions are asked for 13 marks. Companies Act, 7 marks a direct question, 14 marks for descriptive questions. LLP, the direct question was 6 marks, negotiable 7 marks for direct question, 7 marks a descriptive question. Total 120 marks because of 1 question is of choice, and out of 120 you have to answer the 100 marks, right? So let's make the time management at least 2 revisions before the exam, so that at the time of revision try to find your weaknesses and prepare summary for each chapter, so that it will be easy to revise at the time of contract. Preparation of notes, when you making the notes, proper quality and proper presentation, so that you at the time of exam you should not ask to your friend, "Arey, I don't have my notes are not clearly visible. My notes some problem. Please share your photos of your notes." No. Practice questions in proper way by writing. In written, you have to take the practice. Time management. You have to answer in 3 hours. So please, whenever you solve the question, that see now, there were 21 questions. 6 marks, or you have to attempt the 5 questions, 21 questions. So time, and you have 180 minutes. Divide the time accordingly. Some people say, "Sir, I come out of 5, I am very much sure about 4. So I will answer only 4." No. If you answer only 4 questions, you will get only marks out of 80. When you will answer all the 5 questions, you will get answers out of 100. Use black pen for practice, because in exam, black pen will be used. But notes, you can prepare the colorful. Proper, take the mock test of ICAI at the time of exam. And 2 or 5 things you should be remember at the examination hall. Be relaxed and say to yourself that you know everything, as you have revised your course 4 times. How the 4 times? Once I'm teaching with you, after my teaching, you will get the revision. after the end of classes, you should go for the revision. And one day before the exam, you will go for the revision. In this way, you will complete the 4 revisions. Read the question paper carefully. Don't be overconfident. And select the question which you have to solve first, marking question number properly. See, suppose the question has 3 parts, 2A, B, and C. Then whenever you give the answer, please notify the question number like that. Answer question 2B, question 2A. Not only avoid like writing A. No, please mention complete question number. And mention section of case law if you are very much confident. One more thing. Suppose question number 1 has 3 parts, 2A, 2B, 2C. These parts can be shuffled in itself, but not with other questions. You can write section question number 2, part C first, then 2A, then 2B. But you can't do that 2A, then 1B, then 2C. No. You can shuffle the part of a question, but you cannot shuffle the question. And the time for presentation, once again, I'm saying when the descriptive question has to be solved, you have to give the answer in 3 parts. First part, the basis on which you are giving the answer. In second part, you have to mention the problem in summarized way for which you are giving the answer. And third part is conclusion, which give the answer. What is the answer you should give in the third part, that is conclusion. You may mention the heading, you may ignore the heading, but presentation in this sequence only. Let's take the example communication of acceptance, and I'm expecting the answer from your side also for the question I'm discussing with you. Mr. Pratham applied for a job as a principal of the school. The school management decided to appoint him one member of the school management committee privately informed Mr. Pratham that he was appointed, but official communication was not given from the school. Later, the management of the school decided to appoint someone else as a principal. Mr. Pratham filed a suit against the school for cancellation of his appointment and claimed damages for the loss of salary. State with reason, will Mr. Pratham be successful in suit filed against school? Good. Akshay, everyone saying no, but please give the reason also. Nikhil has given the reason. Very good. Dashita, your answer to be changed. Answer is good, reason to be changed. Very good, Vishnu. Very good, Jyoti. Good. Everyone saying, sir, the lack of communication, lack of formal communication. Very good. Let's take an answer. As per the rules of acceptance, the acceptance should be communicated to the offerer by offeree himself or his authorized agent. Communication of acceptance by third person cannot be concluded invalid acceptance. This was also confirmed in case of Powell versus Lee. Therefore, to form a valid contract, acceptance should be properly communicated. Facts of the case, Mr. Pratham applied for a job as a principal of the school. The school management decided to appoint him, but no official communication given from the school. Rather, one member of the school management committee privately informed Mr. Pratham that he was appointed, The management of the school appointed someone else as a principal. Mr. Pratham filed a suit against the school for cancellation of his appointment and claimed damages for the loss of salary. On the basis of above provisions and facts, communication of the appointment of Mr. Pratham should be made by school management or any authorized agent. The communication by third person cannot be termed as communication of acceptance. Therefore, there is no valid contract was formed between Mr. Pratham and the school. Mr. Pratham cannot file a suit against the school for cancellation of his appointment. So I think now the concept of communication is very much clear to all of you. Clear? So if the question is asked on this topic, so I am expecting you that all of you will answer exactly to get full marks. So all of you are confident or not? Tell me fast. Yes, very good. Akshit, which slide number? Please tell me the slide number. Slide number 14. We are on 13. How it with previous slide? The last line is only the question. Only the question. Last line is only the question. Next question. Okay. Question is based on the concept contract without consideration. Mr. Ramlal Birla was a big businessman of city Pune having two sons and one married daughter. He decided to gift his house to his daughter. For this purpose, he called his lawyer at his house and made a written document for such gift. The lawyer advised him to get the transfer document properly registered. When they both were going for the registration of document, they met an accident and both died. Later, the daughter found the document of transferring the property to her and claimed the house on the basis of that document. Explain whether she can get the house as gift, yes or no, with reason. Sir Nikhil, your answer is not correct. Vishnu, give also the reason. Amisha has given the correct answer. Akshat, your answer is incomplete. Vishnu, very good. Good, Ikra. Anyone else? Anyone else? Akshit, please send the answer in one line so that I can check your answer is correct or wrong or incomplete. Very good, Vikram. Rocky, your answer is wrong. The law says Section 25 of Indian Contract Act 1872 that an agreement made without consideration is valid if it is expressed in writing and registered under the law for the time being in force for the registration of document and is made on account of natural love and affection between parties standing in the near relation to each other. In other words, a written and registered agreement based on natural love and affection between the parties standing in near relation to each other is enforceable between even without consideration. Means the agreement should be written and registered, written and registered, written and registered. So at this place, the document is written but not registered. So, Akshay, your answer is now correct. So the daughter cannot claim because the agreement is written but not registered. Mr. Ramlal Birla, having two sons and one married daughter, decided to gift his house to his daughter. He made a transfer document, but before its registration, Mr. Ramlal Birla died in an accident. Later, the daughter found the document and claimed the house on the basis of that document. In the given problem, the transfer of house made by Mr. Ramlal Birla on account of natural love and affection between the parties standing in near relation to each other is written but not registered. Not registered. Hence, this transfer is not enforceable. Clear? Any doubt? क्लियर है कि नहीं है बताओ फटाफट से क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर concept is clear concept is clear very good very good so I think you are ready to solve the question of unit number 2 if anything is asked I'm hoping that you are capable to solve unit number 1 and 2 if question is asked from these two units and ready for getting full marks yes yes very good sir Akshay sir I'm just trying to giving the best question so that can cover all the points right because I have to cover all the units and so I'm selecting the best topic so if you have to revise more you can go for model test paper you can go for revision test paper you can go for suggested answer you can go for my assignments okay liability of a minor Mr. Shekhar wants to sell his car. For this purpose, he appoints Mr. Nadan, a minor, as his agent. Mr. Shekhar instructs Mr. Nadan that cars should not be sold at price less than 1 lakh. Mr. Nadan ignores the instruction of Mr. Shekhar and sells the car to Mr. Masoom for rupees 80,000. Explain the legal position of contract under the Contract Act 1872. Mr. Shekhar can recover whether Mr. Shekhar can recover the loss of 20,000 from Mr. Nadan, whether Mr. Shekhar can recover this car from Mr. Masoom. So first you give the answer of A part. Very good Jyoti, very good Akshay. First give the answer of A part. Very good. Everyone, Bhumika. Now give the answer of second part. Very good Vishnu, correct answer. Mukesh, Rocky, give the reason also. Very good. Very good, Dakshita. Amisha. Amisha, give answer reason also. Very good, Jyoti. No, no, Jyoti, your reason is not good. It's not correct. I can say. Uh, Dakshita, Ikra, your answer is for second part. B answer, no, the buyer got. Very good, Dakshita. Okay, चलिए check करते हैं. Every one of you is correct. I'm very much happy with this key. All of you are who are active in this class are actually active, and it is very positive sign for your result, right? Sir, in the exam they will provide us the concept name. No, sir, you have to find out. According to provisions of Section 11 of Indian Contract Act 1872, a minor is disqualified from contracting. A contract with minor is void ab initio. However, minor can act as an agent, but he will not be liable to his principal for his acts. Mr. Shekhar appoints Mr. Nadan, a minor, uh, as his agent to sell his car. Mr. Shekhar clearly instructed to Mr. Nadan that the minimum sale price of the car should be 1 lakh. Yet Mr. Nadan sold the car to Mr. Masoom for 80,000. Please read. Good, Akshit. Considering the facts, although the contract between Mr. Shekhar and Mr. Nadan is valid, Mr. Nadan will not be liable to his principal for his act. Hence, Mr. Shekhar cannot recover the loss of 20,000. Further, Mr. Masoom purchased the car from agent of Mr. Shekhar. He got good title. Hence, the Mr. Shekhar cannot recover his car from Mr. Masoom. पढ़िए बच्चों इसको. Next question. Undue influence. What's mean by good title means ownership is perfectly valid. Ownership is perfectly valid. And question number 4. Chandan was suffering from some disease and was in great pain. He went to Dr. Junjunwala, whose consultation fees was rupees 300. The doctor agreed to treat him, but on the condition that Chandan had to sign a promissory note of rupees 5,000 payable to doctor. Chandan signed the promissory note and gave it to doctor. On recovering from the deceased, Chandan refused to honor the promissory note. State with reason can doctor recover the amount of promissory note under the provisions of Indian Contract Act 1872. This question I've already discussed in unit number 3. So I think all of you have the correct answer. Very good. I'm directly coming to the answer. From the facts of the case, Chandan signed the promissory note under the undue influence applied by Dr. Hence Junjunwala cannot recover the amount of promissory note but can claim the normal consultation fees. Agreed, everyone? Should we go for next question? फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस हिंदी में, हिंदी में क्या है? झुंझुन वाला डॉक्टर साहब के पास गए, डॉक्टर साहब की फीस 300 रुपए थी, मैं 5,000 रुपए लूंगा, प्रॉमिस नोट साइन कर दो 5,000 रुपए, चाहे साइन भी कर दिए, लेकिन जब पेमेंट की बारी आई तो मना कर दिया उसने। राइट, क्लियर अक्षित? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ये भी डिस्कस कर, ये नहीं डिस्कस कर रहे, हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, एक बार मैं रीड कर रहा हूँ। आई एम जस्ट गिविंग रीडिंग दिस क्वेश्चन बिकॉज आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दिस क्वेश्चन in unit while discussing unit number 3. Kapil went to a departmental store to purchase a steel pen. He asked the salesman about the area in departmental store where steel pens are kept. The salesman indicated him the area with instruction that the steel pens, other metals pens were also kept. Kapil wrongly picked an aluminum pen in place of steel pen. The salesman watched but said nothing to Kapil. Kapil reached his house and found that pen was not a steel pen but actually an aluminum pen. Kapil filed a suit against departmental store for fraud. Discuss whether the Kapil is eligible to file the suit for fraud against departmental store under Contract Act 1872. बताइए। Kapil was eligible. अमीशा, योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग, ये तो गड़बड़ कर दिया आपने। सत्यम, योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग। Sir, can I write answer in own language in law paper exam? Yes, can do so, but meaning should be same, concept should be same. Akshit sir, here is the not case of the duty to speak. Okay, Akshit, I have discussed this question in one lecture before, in the last to last class. See, on the basis of provisions of section 17 and the facts given above, it was not the duty of salesman to inform Mr. Kapil about his mistake. Hence, there was no fraud and Kapil was not eligible to file the suit for fraud against departmental store under Indian Contract Act. The provision says silence is not fraud. Silence is fraud only in two cases, where it is duty to speak or when speech is equal to when silence is equal to speech. Duty to speak arises when the relationship between the parties is such that one party should inform about the faults in the goods. ठीक है कि भाई ड्यूटी टू स्पीक भाई जब ही चलेगी जब उनका रिश्ता ऐसा होगा कि बतानी चाहिए। जैसे एग्जाम्पल था in unit number 3 when we are discussing this topic, the example was that the horse was unsound and Y is the daughter of X and X was selling the horse. So it was a relationship like that, that X should inform Y that horse is unsound. X पर ने गुड्स बेचा Y को और Y डॉटर है X की, तो रिश्ता ऐसा है कि भैया इसकी ड्यूटी बनती है। Otherwise, in this case, there is no duty to speak, so no fraud. And second point, where silence is equal to speech, it means if you are silent, I am taking that you are giving the yes. अगर आप चुप हो तो मैं मान लूंगा आप हाँ कर रहे हो, then it is equal to speech, right? Clear, Akshit? Unlawful contract. Mr. Seth, an industrialist, has been fighting a long drawn litigation with Mr. Raman, another industrialist. To support the legal campaign, Mr. Seth enlisted the services of Mr. X, a legal expert stating that an amount of rupees 5 lakhs would be paid. If Mr. X does not take up the case of Raman, Mr. X agreed, but at the end of litigation, Mr. State refused to pay. Decide whether Mr. X can recover the amount. Yes or no? Already discussed. Check करते हैं किसकी memory तेज है. The answer is no. Akshay saying correct answer. So agreement restraint of trade, he cannot claim. Very good. Anyone else? Immoral. This is not the case of immoral. But okay. But this is a case of restraint of trade. As per section 27, as section 27 makes the contract in restraint of trade void, the contract between Mr. Seth and Mr. X is also void, hence Mr. X cannot recover the amount promised by Mr. Seth. Okay, Vishnu, clear? Reason is clear or not? Yes, very good. Okay, Ashrita. Performance of contract, ये तो हम डिस्कस कर चुके, ये भी डिस्कस कर चुके, सारे क्वेश्चन हो गए. In next class, we will discuss the topic breach of contract. We will discuss the topic breach of contract. So we have discussed till date. Which question, Amisha? Tell me the question number. It is last wala. Please tell me the number. I am showing this is the sixth question. This is the fifth question. Sixth question. Provisions. Section 27. Restraint of trade. According to Section 27 of Indian Contract Act 1872, an agreement by which any person is restrained from exercising a lawful profession, trade, or business of any kind is so that extent void. It is explained that where a person sells the goodwill of a business and agrees with buyer to refrain from carrying on the similar business within specified local limits, so long as the buyer or his successor interest carries on the like business therein, such agreement is valid, provided that such limits appear to the court reasonable regard being had to the nature of business. Right? Amisha, clear? Any other query? So at this point, we have completed unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, unit number 4. Unit 1, fundamentals. Unit 2, consideration. Unit 3, other essential. Unit 4, performance of the contract. Almost 40% of the chapter 2 we already completed. Please revise all these 4 units. In the next class, we will discuss unit number 5. Okay. So, Megha ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So please over to you, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon, dear students. This is with respect to Unit 4, Chapter 2, that is the Indian Contract Act. Today we have completed our Unit 4, Performance of Contract, and the notes and assignment are already uploaded. And we can see that in the last 1 hour, we have discussed the descriptive portions of all the 4 units be it your unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and unit 4. So in the LVC classes, we are giving so much emphasis on concepts as well as the practicing of the questions at the same time. And in my Ask My Query portal on the BUS mobile app or BUS knowledge portal, I am receiving many queries regarding this only, that how to present the answers. So for that, in the first class only, I told you that you have to give us at least 8 to 9 classes time, so that you can get command over the presentation of answers. Okay, and you can see today in the today's class, the sir has discussed full 1 hour for the practicing part. Okay, and in all the classes also we are practicing the questions. 15-20 minutes we are taking many questions, and we are giving the questions in the notes also and the assignments also. Now it's up to you. Okay, so faculties are taking so much pain. Now it's the time for you to do the effort, study the notes, and then do the same topics from the study material. I am again reiterating many times that study material is a must. These notes are only secondary in nature, be it saransh, be it these notes. First, you have to take the live virtual class, then study the topics from the study material on the same day. Because now in the examination, questions are not coming as it is from the study material, from the RTPs, from the suggested answers. Questions are being framed on the concepts covered. Okay, for that, your concept clarity should be wonderful, and for that you have to read the study material. Now we are doing the first time study of the study material, then we have to revise the same. So you have to maintain a timetable of yours. Okay, first you have to take the live virtual class, study the simultaneously from the study material, and then practicing part also you have to manage, because time is very less. We are on 10th June, and June, July, August. After August, September, May, in starting only, not 15 September. In the starting of September, you are having exams, because in the May, our exams were conducted after 15th. But this time in September, we are starting, I think, 2 or 3 of the September. So time is very less. You have to gear up. Okay. And yes, feedback, please fill. Yes, we have received so many feedback in the earlier class also, and it's a request to do the same activity again. Now on Friday class, we will start with unit 5, breach of contract. So until now, you please complete this portion from the study material. Sir, I think 2 students have raised their
Yes,
hand.
ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Amisha?
अक्षित, अच्छा मैम.
हाँ सर, अमीशा को.
हेलो
Okay. हाँ
Yes,
अभिषेक
मैम,
जी.
Amisha.
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी
Yes.
आ रही
मैम,
है.
आवाज आ रही है?
जी आ रही है. प्लीज
मैम,
बोलिए.
वो पूछना था कि वो नोट्स वगैरह कैसे मिलेंगे? मैम,
नोट्स
जैसे सर ने
आपकी
कहा।
आप आईसीआई की वेबसाइट पे आप गए हुए हो अमीशा?
हाँ जी मैम।
बीयूएस वेबसाइट, बीयूएस नॉलेज पोर्टल आपने देखा है?
जी मैम।
जैसे आप क्लासेस ज्वाइन करते हो, कैसे कर रहे हो? यू आर ज्वाइनिंग फ्रॉम बीयूएस नॉलेज पोर्टल ना, या
हाँ जी
बीयूएस
मैम।
मोबाइल ऐप
मैम, पोर्टल से।
पोर्टल से? तो आप वहां पे देखिए, नोट्स एंड असाइनमेंट्स आर देयर. नोट्स एंड असाइनमेंट, देयर इज अ सेपरेट टैब फॉर सितंबर 2026 एग्जामिनेशंस.
मैम, 1 मिनट। मैम, कहाँ बताया आपने?
बीयूएस पे जहां से आप क्लास करते हो, लाइव वर्चुअल क्लास स्टार्ट करते हो, वहीं पे एक टैब होगा, नोट्स एंड असाइनमेंट्स फॉर
एक्चुअली मैम,
सितंबर.
सॉरी मैम, मैं वो ध्यान नहीं दिया। एक्चुअली मैं ऐप से कर रही थी, मोबाइल ऐप से।
तो आप
तो
बीयूएस नॉलेज पोर्टल पे रजिस्टर कीजिए, और ऐप पे भी होंगे, आप एक बारी देखिए.
ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
ओके ओके. यस
Good
अक्षित.
evening, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Akshit.
Uh, Sir, today I ask now from Unit 1 Condition President, sir, the topic.
Which unit?
Unit 1 and Unit 3, sir. In Unit 1, acceptance part, offer part, last 9th point, sir.
PPT or study module?
Study module, sir.
Page number, unit 1.
Unit 1, sir, 2.19.
Just a moment. Page number 2.19.
Yes, sir.
Just a moment. Which point?
2.19, ninth point. In essentials, a valid offer, last point.
Offer is different from mere statement of intention and invitation to offer a mere communication of information, prospectus and advertisement. So in this point, we have discussed that case of Harvey versus Fessy, important case, in which Harvey asked two questions, Fessy replied only one question. Remember?
Yes, sir.
So that's saying the reply is not an offer. Second point, all the menu cards, all the price tags are invitation to offer. One step before the offer. So on which basis the party will make the offer? So they are not offer, right? I have taken the example of Shahi Paneer. Remember, in a restaurant.
Yes, sir. Sir,
अब इसमें पूछना क्या है ये बताओ आप.
तो उसमें उनकी इंटेंशन, उनका सीक्वेंस और इंटेंशन ऑफ पार्टीज पूछना था, ऑफर और इनविटेशन ऑफर में.
Intention and announcement.
इंटेंशन
Law says, pardon,
इंटेंशन ऑफ पार्टीज और सीक्वेंस पूछना था मुझे इसमें.
which point? I'm not getting what you asking.
सर पहले में उसमें दिया था ना, ऑफर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम स्टेटमेंट और इंटेंशन, इनविटेशन ऑफर इज मेरे
ठीक
इन
है.
इंटेंशन. उसमें एक पॉइंट दिया होता है, ऑफर इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम इनविटेशन ऑफ ऑफर. और
हाँ
अगला जो
ठीक है.
कंटिन्यूएशन होता है, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्राइस नॉट इन ऑफर के बाद एक आएगा व्हाट इज इनविटेशन टू ऑफर और डिफरेंस. तो उसमें मुझे स्टेटमेंट और उसमें सीक्वेंस और इंटेंशन ऑफ पार्टीज पूछना.
सीक्वेंस का तो कोई पॉइंट नहीं था. इंटेंशन देखिए, प्लीज समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. पहला पॉइंट था स्टेटमेंट ऑफ इंटेंशन एंड अनाउंसमेंट. इंटेंशन, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ इंटेंशन मींस समवन इज गिविंग हिज इंटेंशन, नॉट मेकिंग द ऑफर, एंड दैट इन दैट वे that could not be resulted as offer. That is only an intention. जैसे एग्जाम्पल था, फादर wrote his son about his wish of making him the owner of his property. mere intention कि फादर की इच्छा है कि मेरे बाद मेरा बेटा प्रॉपर्टी का मालिक बन जाए, पर ये उसकी इच्छा है, ये कोई ऑफर नहीं है. सेकेंड पॉइंट था announcement to give scholarship to children scoring more than 95% in 12th board is not an offer because that is just an announcement. I told you that announcement in newspaper is only offer only in one case where announcement is for reward. Remember the case of Lalman Shukla.
यस सर, वो अपने वो गोल्ड कलर में वो था उसके अंदर वो एक
जी
पिक्चर थी.
ठीक है.
सर
हाँ
ठीक है,
बोलिए.
ये क्लियर हो गया सर. नेक्स्ट एक्सेप्टेंस में.
एक्सेप्टेंस में पेज नंबर.
सर पेज नंबर 2.23 के बाद मैं पॉइंट नंबर 2.23 है ना, उसमें लीगल रूल स्टार्टिंग है. तो उसमें मुझे सेकंड, थर्ड और सेवन्थ पॉइंट में कंफ्यूजन है.
सेकेंड पॉइंट था एक्सेप्टेंस मस्ट बी एब्सोल्यूट एंड अनक्वालिफाइड. यही
यस सर, सेकंड और थर्ड पॉइंट इसमें.
अनक्वालिफाइड मतलब कंडीशनल नहीं होना चाहिए. आई हैव टेकन द एग्जांपल कि आई वांट टू सेल माय कार फॉर टू मिस्टर एक्स फॉर 2 लाख रुपीस, and Mr. X said that I am ready to purchase your car but not for 2 lakh rupees, it is for 1,80,000, and this 1,80,000 accepting for 1,80,000 is not the acceptance. Uh, it is the क्या बोलते हैं उसे, it is conditional acceptance. ठीक है. And this cannot be taken as acceptance because law says the acceptance should be in yes, no if, no but. Okay.
सर तो उसमें
It is
अगर
also
ए
called
ने
a counter offer. Yes, please tell me.
मुझे इसमें एक था कंफ्यूजन. जैसे इसमें सेकंड पॉइंट है, तो उसमें अगर ए ने बी से इंक्वायरी करी कि आपने गाड़ी 2 लाख के ले ली, बी ने जवाब दे दिया कि गाड़ी 2 लाख की है, तो मोटरसाइकिल 50,000 करी, तो बी को एक्सेप्टेड प्रपोजल के लिए नहीं कहा जाएगा ना, बी को नहीं माना जाएगा.
नहीं नहीं नहीं.
तो उसमें बी ने उसको मतलब परचेस ऑफ कार के लिए दी
एग्जाम्पल नंबर
उसमें।
51 यू आर
और
टॉकिंग अबाउट, है ना?
हाँ,
I
यस
am
सर।
reading. I am reading. A inquires from B, will you purchase my car for 2 lakh rupees? B replies, I shall purchase your car for 2 lakh rupees if you buy my motorcycle for 50,000. He made the condition. It means he is not accepting the offer. He is just making the counter offer, right?
यस सर।
So it means B is making the new offer for purchasing of car for 2 lakhs and selling the motorcycle 50,000. And he is denying for the original offer. Okay. Now the ball is in the goal in the court of A. A has to decide whether he will accept the offer of B or not.
यस सर, इम्प्लाइड एक्सेप्टेंस का मीनिंग हिंदी में बताओ ना सर।
इम्प्लाइड एक्सेप्टेंस मतलब होता है जैसे कि मैं एक रेस्टोरेंट में गया और मैंने उससे कहा, भाई मेनू कार्ड पढ़ा, मैंने कहा भैया एक कॉफी लिया, और उसने कॉफी लाके रख दी। इसमें उसने ये नहीं कहा कि मैं कॉफी लेके आ रहा हूँ, ला के रख दी। इट मीन्स उसने इम्प्लाइडली मेरा ऑफर एक्सेप्ट कर लिया।
नेक्स्ट 2.33 पेज, 2.33 पेज सर।
2.33
थर्ड पॉइंट।
जस्ट अ मोमेंट। थर्ड पॉइंट, बाय नॉन फुलफिलमेंट ऑफ कंडीशन प्रेसिडेंट। टॉपिक क्या था? मोड्स ऑफ रिवोकेशन ऑफ ऑफर। मींस इन विच मोड ऑफर कैन बी रिवोक्ड। लेट सपोज आई आस्क मिस्टर एक्स, will you purchase my car for 2 lakh rupees? If your answer is yes, please send the advance of 20,000. He does not send the advance of 20,000 means he has not accepting my offer. कि मैंने
यस
उससे
सर।
पूछा, भैया क्या तुम मेरी कार 2 लाख में खरीदोगे? अगर आपका जवाब ना, अगर है हाँ है तो 20,000 रुपए एडवांस भेज दो। उसने एडवांस नहीं भेजा, जो कंडीशन लगी थी ऑफर वो पूरी नहीं की। इट मींस ऑफर क्या हो गया? रिवोक हो गया।
और जो हम क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर रहे थे उसमें रिस्ट्रेन ऑफ ट्रेड और रिस्ट्रेन ऑफ लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स में है ना, उसमें कंफ्यूजन मुझे सेकंड और
रेस्ट्रेंट
थर्ड।
बेटा, रेस्ट्रेंट ऑफ ट्रेड मतलब व्यापार करने से रोकना, और रेस्ट्रेंट ऑफ लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स मतलब लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स को करने से रोकना। कोई लीगल कार्यवाही हो रही हो उसे करने से रोकना।
तो स्टडी मटेरियल में ना मुझे लास्ट 3-4 लाइन समझ में नहीं आई। वो पैराग्राफ है तो लास्ट 3-4 लाइंस 2.78 में।
यूनिट नंबर 2,
यूनिट नंबर 3 सर।
यूनिट नंबर 3, वेट। बाकी क्लियर है अक्षित आपको?
यूनिट 1 यूनिट 2 अब क्लियर होगी, उसकी प्रैक्टिस कर लूंगा। यूनिट 3 और कर लो फिर मैं, ताकि केस स्टडी प्रैक्टिस कर सकूं।
तो हाउ मच एक्सपेक्टिंग इन यूनिट नंबर 1 एंड 2? फुल मार्क्स?
हाँ यस सर। इस बार पिछले बार, इस बार आपने वो क्या कहते हैं, केस स्टडी बिल्कुल अच्छे से कर लिया कि यूनिट 1 यूनिट 2 डाउट क्लियर है, बस यूनिट 3 और थोड़ा सा क्लियर कर लो, चैट
आप
डिसेबल
बोलो
था
ना,
नहीं।
विच पेज नंबर? 2.78?
78। यस सर।
0.78, विच पॉइंट?
सर उसमें मुझे अग्रीमेंट इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ ट्रेड स्टार्टिंग का समझ में है, उसके बाद जब गुडविल के
लिसन
बाद
लिसन
मुझे।
लिसन लिसन लिसन,
हाँ यस सर।
what I'm go for the what I'm saying to you.
यस सर।
In case of restraint of trade, contract is void. But in case of sale of goodwill, the buyer can make the restriction on the seller to do the same business, similar business in that particular area or particular time limit. And same thing for partnership agreement. If any partner is uh, going from the firm, he can be restrained from doing the same business. अगर कोई पार्टनर छोड़ के जा रहा है तो उससे कह सकते हैं, भैया ये आपको बिजनेस नहीं करना है, पहले आप फर्म में थे, अब आपको ये सेम बिजनेस नहीं करना है। दिस इज परफेक्टली वैलिड। फर्म डिसॉल्व हो रही है तो बाकी पार्टनर एग्रीमेंट कर सकते हैं कि जो पार्टनर बाहर, फर्म डिसॉल्व हो गई, वो पार्टनर सेम बिजनेस नहीं करेंगे पर्टिकुलर लोकल लिमिट्स में पर्टिकुलर टाइम के लिए। ये सिंपल सा लॉ है। क्लियर?
ये क्लियर हो गया। अब लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स में वो हाउएवर सर्टेन एक्सेप्शंस में मुझे नहीं समझ में।
पेज नंबर
2.79।
लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स में exception.
यस सर।
Listen, I have discussed about the arbitration. याद है तुम्हें arbitration क्या था?
आर्बिट्रेशन मतलब उसके अंदर मतलब अमाउंट को रिवार्ड करते हैं तो
ना ना ना, अक्षय आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया।
ध्यान
मैंने
दिया था
बताया
सर
था
वो।
आर्बिट्रेशन इज लाइक अ पंचायत।
यस सर।
हमारे मैंने एक चीज और बताई थी आपको कि आर्बिट्रेशन इन केस ऑफ सिविल मैटर वी कैन रेफर द आर्बिट्रेशन, राइट। सिविल कोर्ट को अदरवाइज क्या होता है, सिविल कोर्ट मैटर जाते हैं, सिविल कोर्ट में क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में, दीवानी,
वायलेशंस ऑफ रूल ऑफ लॉ इतना याद है।
है ना। सिविल कोर्ट को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, दीवानी। और वहां की कहावत
दीवानी।
क्या है कि लोग दीवाने हो जाते हैं लेकिन मैटर सॉल्व नहीं होते हैं। तो क्योंकि इतने ज्यादा लॉ के केसेस है ना वहां पर, तो उन्होंने कहा भैया इतने केसेस मत करो, आपस में निपटा लो, किसी बड़े को बैठाओ। अब घर में भी झगड़े होते हैं तो ना बार बार घर आके कोर्ट में जाएगा झगड़े के लिए, किसी बड़े को बुलाते हैं, वो सॉल्व कर देते हैं मैटर। सेम थिंग लाइक आर्बिट्रेशन, इसको लीगल फ्रेम है आर्बिट्रेशन, कि एक दो लोग जो उनमें झगड़ा है वो किसी एक को अपॉइंट कर दे और वो डिसाइड करे मैटर, ठीक है। जो मैटर वो डिसाइड करता है उसे रिवॉर्ड बोलते हैं। सेकंड थिंग, इफ parties are deciding that contract and that any dispute should be referred to arbitration even it against the legal proceeding, it is perfectly valid। मतलब कि लीगल प्रोसीडिंग के अगेंस्ट जा रहा है फिर भी ये वैलिड है, क्योंकि इसको लॉ ने अलाउ किया है। क्लियर हो गई बात?
हाँ, और जो लास्ट पॉइंट है इसमें तो मुझे पूछना था, जैसे वैगरिंग अग्रीमेंट होता है, अनसर्टेन बी हैपनिंग और नॉन हैपनिंग अनसर्टेन इवेंट होता है, तो क्या कंटीजेंट जो वर्ड दे रखा है फोर्थ और फिफ्थ पॉइंट, क्या वो सेम है क्या सर?
सर कंटिजेंट के लिए वी विल डिस्कस इन यूनिट नंबर 6।
नहीं सर, वो नहीं पूछ रहा मैं कह रहा हूँ जो लास्ट में लिख रखी है इसमें, जैसे एसेंस ऑफ द फोर्थ और फिफ्थ पॉइंट सेम है क्या सर? अग्रीमेंट मीनिंग ऑफ विच इज अनसर्टेन, और फिफ्थ पॉइंट वैगरिंग अग्रीमेंट।
सर दोनों अलग चीज है। वेजरिंग लाइक शर्ट के काउंटर सट्टेबाजी, और अनसर्टेन मींस आई हैव थ्री कार्स एंड आई वांट टू सेल माय कार, आई हैव टू क्लियर व्हिच कार आई वांट टू सेल, राइट।
100 टन्स ऑफ ऑयल एग्जाम्पल उसमें समझ में नहीं आया। 100 टन्स ऑफ ऑयल।
100 टन ऑफ ऑयल, सपोज मेरे ना, मैंने पता नहीं क्या हुआ, ये इंस्टीट्यूट ने मुझे निकाल दिया नौकरी से और मैंने एक फैक्ट्री खोल ली ऑयल मेकिंग की, ठीक है। अब मेरे यहाँ वहां पे कोकोनट ऑयल भी बनता है, मस्टर्ड ऑयल भी होता है, और कोई और दो चार ऑयल और रख लेते हैं। अब अक्षित मेरे पास आते हैं, कहते हैं सर मुझे ऑयल खरीदना है 100 टन। मैंने कहा ओके, आई विल सप्लाई। बट अक्षित ने ये नहीं बताया कि कौन सा ऑयल खरीदना है, ठीक है। तो ये क्या हो जाएगा, अनसर्टेन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, क्या हो जाएगा, वॉइड हो जाएगा, ठीक है।
अगर इन्हें कहा भी को जैसे बारिश होगी और
हम्म,
अमाउंट और बारिश नहीं हुई, और मतलब उसने प्रॉमिस करा था बारिश हुई तो आप मेरी इतनी मतलब डिमांड करना, मतलब मुझे पैसे देना, अगर मेरे कहीं से
ठीक
बारिश हुई
है,
तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड होगा ना सर?
बिल्कुल वैचरिंग एक नेचर का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, वॉइड होगा।
तो वैगरिंग इन नेचर हुआ क्या सर?
वैचरिंग मतलब शर्त के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, शर्त है ना कि कल अगर बारिश होगी तो मैं 100 रुपए दूंगा और नहीं हुई तो आप मुझे दोगे।
और
कठपुतली
कंसिडरेशन,
सट्टेबाजी है जी।
और आखिरी डाउट है, कंसिडरेशन अनलॉफुल होता है क्या? अनलॉफुल होता है क्या? सेवन्थ पॉइंट जो दे
कंसिडरेशन
रखा है।
कंसिडरेशन अनलॉफुल भी हो सकता है, और अगर अनलॉफुल होगा तो वॉइड होता है। जैसे मान लीजिए किसी ने ए ने बी से कहा कि तुम सी को मार दो, मैं तुम्हें 1 लाख रुपया दूंगा, तो जो कंसिडरेशन है वो अनलॉफुल हो गया ना, किसी को मारना, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड हो जाएगा।
और जैसे उसके अंदर दे रखा है एग्रीमेंट में थर्ड, जैसे ए ने बी को श्यू करा सी को केस सेटल करने के लिए, तो वो मेंटेनेंस हुआ चैम्पर्टी, मतलब एक को एक
एक
पर्सन
केस
दूसरे।
करने के लिए अगर सपोर्ट करेंगे मेंटेनेंस और उसमें जो शेयरिंग करेंगे तो वो चैम्पर्टी।
और स्टैपलिंग और ट्रैपलिंग में क्या फर्क होता है? स्टैपलिंग
इसमें
प्रोसिक्यूशन, स्टैपलिंग प्रोसिक्यूशन और ट्रैपलिंग।
डिसिप्लिन प्रोसिक्यूशन मतलब किसी को सजा मिल रही है उसे बचा के ले जाओ आप, कि हम उसे बचा लेंगे, सजा मिलनी चाहिए, आप बचा रहे हैं तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड होगा।
और ट्रैपलिंग रिलेटेड टू पब्लिक ऑफेंसेस का मतलब?
पार्डन,
ट्रैफलिंग
ट्रैफिक पब्लिक
रिलेटेड।
ऑफिस, ऐसा होता है ना, कई बार क्वेश्चन ये होता है, कई बार ये होता है ना कि साहब आप वो जगह खाली कर दो, जो गवर्नमेंट जॉब है उसे आप छोड़ देंगे तो हम आपको इतने रुपए देंगे। तो ये कहना एक पब्लिक पोस्ट को खरीदना कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड होता है।
जैसे किसी ने पे करा 15,000, ऑफिसर डिपार्टमेंट में, ऑफिस डिपार्टमेंट पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट काम करता है, और उसको वो हार गया तो वो रिकवर नहीं कर पाया, तो फिर वो उसको किस चीज के लिए ऑपोजिट करा जाएगा
एक
ट्रैवलिंग
मतलब
में?
क्लियर करो क्वेश्चन क्या है, क्वेश्चन क्लियर करो, ये क्वेश्चन अधूरा है, आपने जो बोला पूरा बताओ।
जैसे एक पर्सन, जैसे हरीश, हर्ष जो भी नाम है,
हम्म।
उसमें 15,000 ऑफिसर को उसने पे करे। और
किस बात के लिए?
टू गिव हिज सन, अपने बेटे को देने के लिए जॉब में, फॉरेस्ट
15,000 रुपए दिए
डिपार्टमेंट।
किसी ऑफिसर को कि आप मेरे बेटे को जॉब दे दो, ये तो
और
टोटली इलीगल हो गया।
और उसके उसको फेलियर, मतलब वो हार गया बाय ऑफिसर, ऑन फेलियर बाय ऑफिसर वो रिकवर नहीं कर पाया पैसे को। एज
रिकवर कर
सच,
नहीं सकता, रिकवर
एज ही
कर
कुड
नहीं
नॉट।
सकता, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड है।
तो वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में वो ऑफिस, पब्लिक पॉलिसी के लिए ऑफिस होगा क्या? ट्रैफिक इन
सर
पब्लिक ऑफिस?
ये अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी है, पब्लिक ट्रैफिकिंग इज ऑल्सो द पार्ट ऑफ द अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी।
ठीक है सर, मुझे डाउट से क्लियर हो गया। मुझे बताएं, जैसे आपने क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करे, अगर हम ऐसे करेंगे तो इजीली वी कैन गेट यूनिट 1, यूनिट 2, यूनिट 3, यूनिट 4 फुल मार्क्स। और एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चन मैं वो कह रहा था ना कि लीगल रूल रिगार्डिंग कंसेशन केस स्टडी।
क्वेश्चन के
तो
लिए बेटा बहुत सारे सोर्सेज हैं, मॉडल टेस्ट पेपर है, 10 मॉडल टेस्ट पेपर है, मॉक टेस्ट पेपर है, आरटीपी है, सजेस्टेड आंसर है, और आप डेप्थ में जाओगे तो और भी क्वेश्चन मिल जाएंगे।
और
पर
अगर अब तक सारा याद हो गया मुझे, यूनिट 1 to यूनिट 4,
वेरी गुड
अब मैं
वेरी गुड।
प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस कर लिया, जैसे स्कैनर और आरटीपी। आरटीपी अभी आएगी, मैम ने बताया था यूनिट एक दो हफ्ते बाद। और फिर मैं ये करूँ तो इनफ है क्या? मैं फुल मार्क्स स्कोर कर सकता हूँ इसमें?
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं आप, बस दिमाग में रिटेन रहेगा और वही प्रेजेंट करेंगे आप एग्जाम में, वही लिख के आएंगे जो आपने पढ़ा। अगर वहां
थैंक
पे
यू
कुछ
सर।
और लिख दिया, अर्थ का अनर्थ हो गया, तो नहीं मिलेंगे नंबर, अदरवाइज
थैंक यू
मिलेगा।
सर। ओन लैंग्वेज
थैंक यू
में
सो
लिखेंगे,
मच।
अच्छे से लिखेंगे। थैंक यू सर, योर ब्लेसिंग्स आर ऑलवेज विद अस, वी विल डू बेस्ट इन
थैंक यू सो
सितंबर।
मच, थैंक यू अक्षित जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
दिस टाइम वी हैव 2 days हॉलीडेज फॉर बिजनेस लॉ।
नो नो, नेक्स्ट डे लेक्चर मेरे ख्याल
Sir,
थिंक
he is
टुडे।
talking about exam date.
अच्छा, एग्जाम डेट।
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, थैंक
Sir, I think all the queries are solved,
यू।
so we
यस
can
मैम।
conclude the session, sir.
यस,
Thank you,
थैंक
sir. Thank you, dear students. Please join on the Friday class for Unit 5. Thank you.
यू।
Session over.